Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hot Topics, the show, the podcast. This is Gloria Goldberg, the founder of the podcast Unbreakable Life with Glory. We'll talk about depression, anxiety, and PTSD in a natural way, in a holistic way to make you feel better. And next to me, like always, my beautiful, successful coach, Kia Baker.
Hey everybody, if this is your first time seeing Hot Topics, then you don't know me by now. My name is Kia Baker. I am the creator and host of the Female Veterans Podcast, the upcoming video series, Women Warrior Stories for the Veterans Channel, and success coach at London Real Academy, which might be my favorite thing to do because as you well know, I get to connect with a lot of amazing people, such as yourself, Gloria.
I know. So how you been, Kia, today with this full moon?
Yeah, it's crazy energy, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I believe in energy, right? I mean, it is like the one true constant or whatever. And I think the planets have to have an impact on the energy that we feel, right? So with the moon
Yes.
so big and bright, I don't know. I feel like I've been feeling like really crazy but positive energy. Hmm.
Yeah, I also feel there's a lot of changes coming for me, and I just want to be positive, but like I said to you in the beginning, like I just want to be in the present, and whatever comes in my way, I'm gonna take it the way it is, and I'm gonna resolve it. But I'm not gonna cause a problem and anxiety on me because that is exactly why it causes anxiety when you just thinking of what's gonna happen and imagining what's gonna happen, and then you say no, you cannot be thinking that way. You don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, so why worry about tomorrow?
Hmm. Well, this is why it's best to be in the present, right?
Yeah.
And just the present is like a consecutive series of nows, right? So if we
Yes.
worry too much about the future, is the saying is it's anxiety, right? And if we're stuck in the past, then that's depression, right?
Yes. Yes.
So being in the present moment allows you to be focused on whatever's happening in this moment, and it eliminates a lot of that depression and anxiety. At least that's what works for me because
Yeah.
as a disabled veteran, those are some of the invisible illnesses that come along with my diagnosis. So I have spent a lot of time dealing with those issues and have been able to manage it largely by being in the present and focusing my energy there.
Yeah, and you know what? I also been practicing. So for people that don't know or they want to know, I've been practicing a lot to be in the present because me, I was used to be in the past because my trauma, being a victim, and pobrecita me, and all that kind of stuff. And until I said, I cannot go with this depression, I cannot go with this anxiety all the time, thinking because inside of me was like, oh my God, oh, this is gonna happen, oh, this is gonna happen to me, oh, what are we gonna do, and then I said, I'm gonna get crazy like this, and then I said, not too long ago, I'm gonna live the present, and that's what I'm doing. Like, for example, right now in Virginia, I'm traveling, and my car, like, put a light, yellow light, that we didn't know. And then I said to myself, okay, you know what, it's what it is. For a reason, it's showing that light. For a reason, we need to stop. For a reason. So I don't wanna know what is gonna happen tomorrow. I'm just gonna relax tonight, finish my show, and relax tonight.
Yeah, you know what? That's all you can do, right? Because whatever is
Yes.
going to happen tomorrow is going to happen, and you're going to have to
Yes.
face it. You're going to have to deal with it, you know? So,
Yeah. So, Kia, I'm so excited for the show today about beauty, and because we need it. Like, now is the full moon and things are coming out. So you need to, in fact, in my case, when it was in full moon, I look more pretty. So what about you? Don't feel more prettier when it's in full moon?
I don't know. Maybe I should start. I will say this: your hair looks very pretty today on this
Like
photo.
the full moon.
It looks gorgeous. So, but I agree with you. I'm super excited for our guests because, as you know, I just had a birthday on Monday,
Yeah.
and I got another year older, of course, which is a blessing. But some of us, although we're all about aging gracefully, don't get me wrong, and every
Yeah.
wrinkle is a blessing, I know. But
Yes.
some of us would like to preserve our sexy, so to speak. That's a saying.
Yeah.
And while I enjoy aging and all of the knowledge that comes with it, I it took me a long time to learn the art of self-love. Let me just say that. Okay.
Yes. It
It
takes
took
a
me
long
a
time.
long time to be able to look in the mirror and really appreciate what I saw there. So I would like to preserve that, to be honest, as long as I can. And then come what may, right? But while I still feel young and fun and sassy, and sexy, I want to enjoy that. And so I'm going to do what I feel is necessary to do that. Okay. So without
Yes.
shame or judgment for anyone. So if you want to do plastic surgery, honey, do
Right.
you. If you just believe in skin creams or diet, honey, do you. If you want to have a face full of wrinkles and you feel like that's beautiful and sexy, honey, do you. But
Yes.
since my birthday just passed and I love anti-aging, our guest is going to talk about anti-aging.
Oh my God. I can't wait.
Actually, I don't even like the term anti-aging because I do like to age, right? Because you get
Right.
maturity and you get knowledge and you get all of these wonderful things that come along with that experience. You become an expert by virtue of just being alive for a set amount of years. But I prefer the term aging gracefully or aging backwards because
Yeah.
you can sort of reverse the hands of time by making tweaks and changes, and it's not always surgery. So, and this is good for guys too. So the fellas sometimes don't say that they are interested in preserving their sexy as well, but it's true. Men have a hard time getting older sometimes too and seeing those physical changes occur.
They should.
So
It should be easy for them because for centuries we like him the way they are, like with big bellies, with small bellies, with a lot of wrinkles, with gray hair, like all kind. That you never see a man put in a lot of creams or put in. They have to be a metrosexual. There's a lot too.
I love a
Put in.
metrosexual, I'm not gonna lie.
You like metrosexual?
Yeah, I like a
Really?
guy that takes care of himself.
Well, you would like my brother, my other brother. He's a metrosexual.
Well, I am single. I'm just so I don't know if I could handle anybody in your bloodline.
No, 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 no,
One is enough. I
no,
got
no.
you.
Yeah, that is a single that I don't recommend to anybody.
So anyway, oh look, here's somebody new. Look at this. Hi, Chris Jude.
Oh my
Hi.
God.
Yes, thanks for saying hi. Thanks for stopping by. Anyway, so we have an amazing guest today. And he's single. I'm
Oh my God.
not dating right now, honey. So I'm really focused on my career. So we have an amazing guest for you today, and
Yeah.
she is going to kick down some knowledge. Now, I want to do her a proper introduction, so I'm going to read it because she has skills and knowledge, and she's an expert. So I'm going to give her her proper intro, okay? Okay, so you may remember her from before. She
Yeah.
came a few months back, and if you haven't seen it, go to our Hot Topics Live page, scroll back through, and then you'll see the episode. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, you have to go to Facebook for that, to our Hot Topics page. It's not uploaded on YouTube, I don't think yet. So anyway, her name is Lynne Bellette. She is a nurse practitioner, right? And she graduated from UCLA, which is a pretty good school, I gotta say. And she has 20 plus years of experience. And she's board certified. Now this is the part I'm gonna read because I want to get all these letters right. Okay. So you can believe her when she's giving you tips. Okay. So it's ABAAHP. That's a lot. Through A4M which is the Academy of Anti-Aging and Regenerative Medicine. Okay, so you know that she has the education and the knowledge and then the practice, 20 plus years. So I'm excited to bring her on. Her story, you would remember if you saw her a couple months ago. She shared a very intimate story about her husband and the loss of her husband. And she talked us through how to deal with sudden trauma. And so she has a lot of knowledge on a lot of different levels. And I'm so excited that she agreed to come back on the just a few days after my birthday to help me celebrate and learn some stuff about, keeping some stuff intact. What do you
And
think,
she
Gloria?
she's beautiful, and she have a beautiful hair. She's wow, like
I
what
thought
a
you were going to
hair,
say she has a beautiful heart.
hair.
Her hair is beautiful. She does have a beautiful heart, just to
Yeah.
clarify.
Oh
But
my
her
God.
hair,
When she do
her hair.
the yoga in the, she's doing a, how you call, a challenge. And
Oh,
when she leaves her hair down, like, oh my God, that's beautiful hair. She's doing a challenge of a push up, I think it is. Every,
wow.
for 25 days. I'm not sure. I think it's 25 days.
Yeah.
We ask
All right.
her how many days it
Yes.
is.
We'll ask her about it too. But I know now everyone wants to see her hair. So I'm going to bring her on.
Hey, you remember that commercial that says, "Don't hate me because I have beautiful hair." Remember that panty? Remember you were too young, but
I
yeah,
remember.
We remember.
and
We remember.
this is this is called healthy hair, right? And it's my hair. It's not a wig. It's my
I
hair.
want to get that one. So it's
But thank you
beautiful,
for having me
beautiful.
on.
Oh my gosh, we're so happy that you came back, right, Gloria?
Yes, I'm super happy because I want to know about everything about an anti-aging. Oh, Kia, what is the name you want to put to that?
We're gonna say aging gracefully or aging backwards.
Well, I remember when I was studying, I was going through the A4M courses. I had trouble trying to say that, anti-aging. It's almost like, God, it's bad to be aged. But the age is denied by many, really, because when you age, you have to go through some trials and tribulations and some craziness, and no one is basically denied by that. Every single one of us have to go through trauma, some type of trials and tribulations in order to survive and be able to be wise enough to talk about it and learn from it. So so anyway, I'm glad to be here to share with you some nuggets and some pearls of wisdom and some good tips so you can take along with you, and hopefully you can start like after the talk.
Nice. Okay, so I have a question to
Mhm.
get us
Yes, I'm
going.
95 years old.
Well, Gloria, you see, she's 95. So she's
Mhm.
actually got a lock on anti-aging. Okay, but I think she wants to look like 90. So I don't know, like she wants to age it back. So when it
Yeah, a
comes
little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah. So my question is this: what is an easy thing that we should know to get us started on this process?
Well, there's many things, but the first thing I would recommend is to realize that you are a human being on in this world experiencing life. Okay, and so everything affects aging. So what you eat, how you absorb your nutrients, okay, and how you internalize physical and emotional stress, how where you live, your environment, and your environment could be where you live, who you hang out with, and what toxins are you exposed to, and heavy metals, and chemicals, and then your genetics. So there's five pillars that constitute health and well-being as well as healthy aging.
Wow. Okay. So let's dive into one of those.
Yes, yes. Let's start with, yeah.
Which one do you want to start with, Gloria?
Okay, because I don't know exactly, because there's a lot of anti-aging rituals or regimens or whatever techniques. So what are the techniques or the anti-aging that you know about it, that you've been working for 20 plus years?
Okay, so I have to first say that you have to really go through an experience yourself in order to realize, oh, what works for you and what doesn't work for you. But sometimes things happen to you in life that actually put you in that journey of, hey, you know what? I think I really want to stay healthy. When things are drop off the curve or things get turned you off, the beaten path. So my story started with where I had my first baby at 35 years of age, and he's about to turn 16. So do the math. So I ended up having diabetes during pregnancy and postpartum depression. But nobody knew because I'm Asian and we're not supposed to talk about our feelings. And that was considered as a weakness if you really talk about your feelings, right? So, especially if you're sharing it with the world. So, and I'm the oldest child, and we're not supposed to talk about anything. I'm supposed to be the stoic um, Chinese woman. So, my husband noticed that I was banging into things, getting irritated. I mean, I've been an athlete all my life. So I've exercised all my life, but I noticed that my hair was falling off. I, was irritated, didn't sleep very well. Well, I was going to work 5 days a week and I breastfed. So I did not have a chance to even sleep for more than 2 hours for 2 whole years. 2 years. So can you imagine sleep deprived for 2 years? So you feel like you're jet lagged. So I would get irritated. I would go to work and say, I'm just going to put in this IUD and I'm going to go home. I feel so like I'm going to cut somebody off. And I said, I'm not a bitch, but I feel like I'm a zombie right now. And I said, I'm in danger to myself as well as to my patients and driving. So I just need 8 hours of sleep. And so, and of course, when it comes to husband trying to be intimate, I'm like, give me 8 hours of sleep and then we'll talk. So, your hormones fluctuate and, okay. So my husband said, well, why don't you go to your doctor? So I went to my doctor and my doctor said, well, honey, I know what you have. So you fill out this little form. And I was told that I have postpartum depression. And I said, wait a minute, how did you know? And he wrote a prescription and along, and dismissed me. So I said, well, how did he know that I have depression? Well, I've been practicing for 35 years. I've seen women like you who after pregnancies, your hormones drop. So, here's this medication, which is an antidepressant medication. And I know about postpartum depression, but when it really happened to me, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not depressed. I get up, I work out, I do all these things, but I know I don't feel right because my emotions were up and down. So then I started learning about hormones and I stumbled into functional medicine. And I saw this group, American Anti-Aging and Regenerative Health Medicine in Florida. And I thought, oh my God, wouldn't it be nice to go? And I thought, there is no way. It costs so much money to learn about this stuff. And then somehow, some way, I was able to get a continuing education time. And I just said, you know what? Here's a credit card. I'm going to go learn. And man, it was like a whole gaping Pandora's box learning about functional medicine and about finding the root cause of the illness, disease process, and learn how to live well. So it got me to really look at my job as a role as a practitioner. I prescribe medications. Oh, you have GERD. Here's a prescription for GERD. Famotidine, or here's a prescription for whatever, a pill for every ill. I call it. So this is what conventional medicine is all about. And I'm not saying conventional medicine is bad because, I mean, if you have a tumor, you have to get it removed. It's great. If you get in a car accident and you break a bone and you need to have surgery, wonderful. Okay. But the day in and day out things that you just don't you know, no, it's right. You know, how many patients that come in and see me and say, you know what, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I just don't feel right. I'm kind of off. So I would do those labs, and those labs would say, you know, I would dismiss them because I'm like, oh, your labs are normal. Your cholesterol's good. Your sugar's fine. Your liver's okay. You know, they're all within normal limits. And, you know, you just need to exercise and eat right. And just, that's all I had was 10 minutes to see them, or 15 minutes. But, you know, they'll come in, they have this problem, or they have headaches, or if the period's a little off. Oh, you need to be on birth control. So when it came to me, I thought, okay, well, I'm learning a piece of my own medicine. So I had to learn about, you know, how hormone fluctuates as we age, you know, teens and 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, you know, and how your stress level affects your hormones, and how what you eat and how you sleep, you know, and how you poop, and the, you know, consistency of your poop, you know, and everything. You know, even like meeting someone and it's like, you know, I just met you, but my gas tank just went down to nothing, you know? So we allow other people to take advantage of us also, and we don't learn how to like um, develop a barrier to protect ourselves emotionally as well. So you're not physical. You're not just a physical being. And I'm sorry if you are just a physical being and you're a piece of flesh, then you know you can replace that. You can do plastic surgery, you can do all these things, but you're not just a physical being. You're a physical being, you're an emotional being, you're a spiritual being, you're a sexual being. You're all together. I'm not saying sexual meaning like, you know, sexually active, but you're a feminine or you're masculine. And we all, like men and women, all have one aspect of masculinity and femininity. So we need to have a balance of both in order to have harmony. So if you have too macho of a man, then he's not going to tap into his femininity, and he's going to lose his essence of being a man, and he's not going to deal with his emotions, and then he's going to look like an asshole, you know? For women, if you are too kind of a CEO kind of person, you know, who a business person, you're too masculine, and they're going to say that, oh, hey, you know, you have an issue of being a bitch or whatever it is.
Yeah, you're a bitch. Yes, always.
We're really trying to harmonize, you know, like just like in our bloodstream, you know, we have a pH of 7.35 to 7.45. That is just to keep us from out of, what do you call it, out of sync, you know, so you don't have disease, you know, or you don't die. You don't have, you know, ketoacidosis where you have to be in an emergency room because you can't breathe. So your body is always trying to keep you in balance physically, but emotionally, you know, spiritually, you have a physical being and masculine and a femininity. So you have to tap into the balance of those two. Okay. And then all those toxins out there. I mean, you know, I know I have long hair, and you know, you have to find things that actually will the products that do not have too much chemicals to cause more problems. And the FDA will say, well, you know, these chemicals are safe in a small amount, but literally small amount really, what if it's in everything? So literally, you know, we live in a very, very toxic world, you know. It's constant exposure of toxins. And when we have such toxic burdens, it's almost like your house is being so jammed up with, I mean, all the receptors, I mean, all the plugs are just completely jam packed with, like, you know, spider webs. How can you plug the plug into the outlet? Right. So our bodies have what's called receptors, and we have, you know, chemical messengers that tells you where you need to, you know, do your things. Where this medication is supposed to go here, this food is supposed to go there. So can you imagine if your liver is a little jammed up? And if you heard of the term called alcohol or no, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease? You've ever heard of that?
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you have a fatty liver. You never heard of that?
Yes.
So fatty liver just means that your liver is just a little bit fat, and your level of triglycerides is elevated. So triglycerides is when you look at your cholesterol, it'll say triglyceride, and usually it's caused by inactivity, okay, too much alcohol, and too much sugar. So of course sugar is laced in everything, right? Man, even ketchup has sugar.
Yes.
pickles have sugar. And pickles have, yellow number 5, which can actually end up causing ADHD in kids. And, and we're, all these chemicals are among us. They're really not food. Okay. There are chemicals. They're a fake food. They're not called junk food. They're fake. Okay. They're not real. So when it comes to, when you're actually eating food that is not real, your body's going to say, I don't know what that is. So it's like if you have a, traffic light and you have a red light, yellow light, a green light, and all of a sudden that light is like, oh, it's a blue light. Back in the day, I guess blue light, we call it Kmart special. But what is a blue light? Your body doesn't know what it is. So your body's chemical, messenger is saying, well, is it a virus? Well, maybe it's a bacteria. Okay. I don't know what it is, but just kill it. So your immune system is going to go overboard and overactive, and it's going to cause what's called autoimmune. Why does your body want to attack itself? It doesn't. It wants to protect you. But when it recognizes that, that the messengers is not yours, of course it's going to say attack, right? So now we're having more and more people who have autoimmune disease. Diabetes is autoimmune disease. High blood pressure is it's called autoimmune disease. Fibromyalgia. You name it. Hypothyroidism. Hashimoto's. All those things are. It's autoimmune. Okay, so your body is really trying so hard to try to figure out what that is. Can you imagine? Say, for example, Gloria decides to come to my house. Okay, and she says she's going to come visit me. But instead of when she comes and visit me, she dressed up as a killer, like a robber. I'm going to get a gun and I'm trying to shoot her, right? Or try to get a bat and try to beat her up. But behind the scene is she's a friend. So our cells, when it gets so jammed up with all these chemicals, your body is not going to really know what they are. So they're kind of called, chemical mimic, messengers. So brain doesn't know what it is, body doesn't know what it is, attack. So now you have multi-system attacking it, and then you have, I got joint pain. I don't know what's going on with me. You see, but it takes every day. One hamburger, like one bad meal is not going to do that. But all of a sudden, you have like all the freeways are completely jammed up with all these things that your body doesn't know. So your army is going to say, attack, right? So anti-aging, when you're talking about regenerative medicine or functional medicine, it's really about finding the functionality of the body again. What is going on with our bodies, and how do we go about fixing the root cause of the problem? Is it that you have, maybe say, for example, you have a liver that is really, jammed up with fat, you call fatty liver. If you think about the liver that has so many jobs, and when some of the jobs are, where medication will go through that, okay, it makes it tells you where waste products will go, eliminating the toxins and hormones, okay, and medications. So if that liver is jammed up and it doesn't filter right, you don't think that your brain will get the nutrients? No. You don't think that your waste products will get rid of? No. So your body is going to be a jam, like a traffic jam, a cesspool. And all of a sudden you have anxiety because you're not getting the nutrients that you need. Okay. And you're not going to be able to eliminate toxins. So you're going to feel irritated and aggravated. And maybe it will come out in your skin, like you have bad skin. Our body is made of nutrients, and we need to replenish it back. And as we age, this is not called the childbearing years, it's called the disease preparing years. Okay, so we need to replenish our body. We need to have like STP in our gas tank as we get older, like a car. We need to have that 50,000-mile checkup, right? And we need to do those things, and it's every day. When you're tap in touch with yourself, when you get in touch with yourself, you will notice how you live your life, and eventually these will be good habits, and habits will be routine, and that's your normal subconscious routine. It's just like brushing your teeth every morning. You don't even know that you're doing it, right? But you're doing it because you actually created that habit when your mother told you when you're young, brush your teeth, floss your teeth, eat right, eat your vegetables, go to sleep early, don't hang out with these people. Those are just innate things that your parents teach you. And we have to be adult our own adult parent. So we have to learn how to do that. Now, if we go out of sort, say for example we have a disease, then I love most, if you're listening right now, if you're diabetic, please, I was gestational diabetic too, and I was so mad. I felt like I was like, I was a prisoner. Okay, so because that means I can't eat the food that I want to eat. If I go to a party, I feel restricted. Lunchtime, everybody's going out to eat, but I have to eat good food. Well, I realized, and I have to check my fingers. I had to check it 1,200 times before my baby was born, my first baby. So then I realized one day, I'm like, you know what? Somebody up there gave me this condition so I can check in with myself. And that way I don't check out. But if I'm not a diabetic, hey, I can eat whatever. And I wouldn't even know my sugar's off maybe for 10 years. Does it make
Oh my
sense?
gosh. Oh my gosh. I identify with that so much
You have
because
to be conscious.
when I had to get my kidney out, right? Then I realized, and at that moment that and the situation with that was, I had a lot of kidney stones and I didn't have any symptoms. So I didn't know that they were there, and they just rolled around in there for years and just mangled my kidney essentially. Okay. But, kidney stones come from a cause, right? And so if I had not have lost that kidney, and of course it was like terrifying. Oh my God, I'm gonna lose an organ and all of that. But, doing the research, of course, I realized you can live a long, healthy life with one kidney. In fact, I didn't even have to stop drinking alcohol or anything. I don't drink as much as I used to, just because, I like to just be cautious. But, having that experience really taught me that, that I needed to check in with myself for my health, for my body, what's going on, what's triggering this, and make necessary changes, because I felt like I had been really unhealthy for so long. And it turned out a large part of it was my kidney failing. So that was my experience. Have you had something like that, Gloria?
Well, I have an stent in my splenic artery. Well, number one, this is hereditary, and number two, my stress levels and my depression, my anxiety, make that to burst. So yeah, you can have aneurysmas because it runs in the family. But if you have like a bad temper and all the stress, anxiety, it can burst the places that you can have an aneurysma. So when they put me in the aneurysma, the stent for the aneurysma, I was like, no, I need to make a change. And the change was the transformation about being more calm, not eating, not anxious. Try to stay away from the depression, but it takes a long time it takes a long time and work to be able to remove stuff from us. But it's a process, and it's like discipline, and like a convince of like you need to take care of yourself, because nobody's gonna take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And no
It's
one will take
interesting.
care of you unless you take care of yourself, right? Nobody will know where your itch is, and how much you want to be scratched. But Gloria, you have got, you went through a major tragedy where you were kidnapped, for 40 days. And your experience
90
really,
90 days.
90 days, I'm sorry. And trauma, from that, emotional trauma that actually led to many things. And,
Yeah.
you kind of got used to the kidnapping. And then when you were released, there was a huge, not only a release, but it was like a more of a anxiety thing. Now what? I mean, who's that person who kidnapped me? And you never knew. So, the unknown can kill you. Unknown can make you feel like, oh my gosh, you can actually create this kind of story in your head, thinking that a worse situation than it
Yes.
is. In fact, that it's just your thinking. And malnutrition can do that. And when you're stressed, it's like almost like if you were to drive your car so fast with that accelerator, and you just burn a ton of gas, but you never refill it. So as we age, if we burn a lot of gas and we don't fill it, and we don't refill, and we don't refill the good gas, how do we know that our body is breaking down in the future? Is it a disease, or is it a deficiency? Or is it just that you just haven't maintained it? You know, you haven't maintained it. So that's why I say this is the time. It's called not the childbearing years. If you're not careful, it's the disease preparing years. So if you take really good care of yourself and you start learning, and hey, I'm still a baby at functional medicine. I learned so much, but it's sometimes I have to look at my body and how I deal with my situation, and always tweaking and then teaching patients how to do the same. But reality is every single person who I've met who are physicians or nurse practitioners, I mean, a lot of times they know the knowledge, but behind the scene is asking the person, what are they looking for? I mean, what are they feeling and what do they want out of their lives? You can like, oh yeah, cookie cutter. I'm going to give you this. I'm going to get you well. Here are these supplements that you need to take. But really, if you don't personalize the person, you don't help them personalize their own what they need, you're missing the boat. They're not going to want to do it. Some people don't want to, either because they don't think they can, or they're just maybe they have 10 kids. What they could do is just so much.
And
But
also, Lynn, there's a lot of people. They're not educated to take care of themselves, because remember the patterns that we carry. Like in my case, I had a mother that always watch your skin, right? Like take care of your body, see what you're eating, and that's why all my life I've been like a very thin and good shape, because my mother. But there's another people out there that the mother have bad habits, and that goes on and on in the generations. So I would say mostly people wants to be better and get better, but they don't know how to do it, and that's why they need people like you, like Kia, like me, to empower those people to say, hey, you know what, it's time to take care of myself. I didn't know I can take care of myself at that level.
Mm-hmm.
right, and understand that you are just not, your experience doesn't define you. It develops you. It develops who you are, and you can redefine what you learn and become wisdom. You draw wisdom from that. So your wounds can turn into wisdom. Your pain can be turned into purpose. And so there's reason why you go through those things. Um, but I think that in order for this world to be a better place, we have to always, teach individuals to look in themselves and ask them what is it that they want to experience in this life, and how do they want to navigate their life that they have, and then go from there. But for me, functional medicine really is just trying to figure out what the root cause of the problem. What have I been doing every single day that I don't even know of that's causing me the problem? Okay, those 30 pounds did not just gain like overnight. Okay, it starts from that one cookie. You know, the next day will be potato chips. That's my
Now, one Butterfinger, Gloria. The library is open. There's a read happening right now.
I have a question for you. Okay, the audience too. If you want to put in, is sugar bad? Is sugar really bad? Sugar, your brain. Sugar, you need sugar for your brain, right? If you don't have any sugar, you're gonna be like a diabetic who actually, type 1 who don't have any sugar. You're gonna crash, right? So really, sugar is not bad, but too much sugar is
Right.
Yeah, I'm a
Right.
sugar addict, so I have to be like, I have to eliminate excess sugar. And I will tell you this, speaking of aging backwards, this one trick that has helped me was I gave up sugar. And I now, when I say I gave up sugar, we know sugar's in everything, right, Lynn? So I didn't give up sugar. We need sugar, just like you're saying. But I gave up excess sugar. I minimized my intake to sugar so much that I ended up losing a lot of weight almost by just doing that. And of course, when you lose weight, you look younger, usually.
correct.
And just cutting the soda. If you cut the soda, that will
40 grams of sugar. I mean, and not to mention all the chemicals and the phosphate. There's a reason why you've seen some of those Facebook things where like they use the Coca-Cola to clean the toilet because it has calcium in it,
Yeah.
calcium deposit. So when you add the phosphate, it leaches the calcium out. So guess what it does? It leaches your teeth, it leaches your bone. So if you eat too much sugar, it's gonna also leach out what? What do you do when you used to go to the dentist when you're young? Don't eat too much
Cavities.
because you're gonna have cavities. Well, these are made of bones. So as you age, you're gonna have what? Bone erosion. You're gonna have what's called mild degenerative changes. You ever heard of that? You know, I've seen people in their 40s and 50s are getting a hip replacement at such a young age, and they're like, I don't know what's going on with it. Well, it's every single day of what you do with yourself that is not conscious. So what I recommend is for all of us to start thinking like I have glasses, right? So if I don't wear my glasses, okay, I don't have 20/20 vision. But if I put my glasses on, I'm like, oh, look at that, right? So we need to live your life like you have consciousness and aware that there's 20/20 vision forward and 20/20 vision backward. If I don't like what I saw before, what am I going to do? I'm going to start doing things what I want to see. So you want to see what you want to feel like, look like. You have to have the vision of what you want to, feel like, and what do you want to do with your life. So that's what you get to drive to do that. But then create that as a habit, conscious habit. Okay. Once you have a conscious habit, then the habit, and then you stack another habit on top of it. So I call that habit stacking. This is a term that I learned from the famous Vishen Lakhiani, who founded Mind Valley. He's an amazing guy.
Love him.
Mm.
I love him.
Yes.
Amazing guy. So you do the habit stacking, and once you do the habit stack, it's just like brushing your teeth. Okay, then after I brush my teeth, the first thing I do is I go do my yoga, or like some of the habit stacking I do. But once the habit becomes a routine, and then that's a subconscious routine that it's like brushing your teeth. You don't even know that you're doing it. But when you stop doing it, you're gonna feel sluggish. You're gonna feel irritated. You're gonna why am I feeling this way? Because you haven't done the things that you normally do, right? Every single day. So you have to do those things every single day. And it becomes your routine and you don't even think twice about it. But here's another thing. A habit is a unconscious thing though, right? You have to make conscious habits. But if you make a habit, okay, you say, oh yeah, I have a smoking habit. But if you realize that that is a habit, it becomes a choice. I
That's
have a habit.
powerful.
Well, if I don't like it, that becomes my choice. So you have ability to actually change your life and say, I'm not liking that stuff. It makes me feel like crap every time I drink it. Or maybe, I don't like to hang out with this person because, every time I go, I feel like I'm zap my energy and I don't feel my gut feelings
That's a
telling me
big
I don't
one.
listen to your gut feeling. That's why I'm telling you there's something going on. It's your first brain. So those are important things that I would recommend. But eat well, sleep well, poop well, talk well. This is also what I learned from Dr. Rakowski. Um, and I met him in Florida, and I went to a class. Bob
So,
Rakowski.
so Lynn, when somebody wants to go to you for you to help that person to rejuvenate, what exactly you do first? Number one, we know that you ask what the person wants, and from there, what is the next step?
Well, usually someone will approach me and say, hey, I went to my doctor, and I went to another doctor and another doctor, and they told me my labs are normal and I'm fine and there's nothing wrong with me, and I just still feel crap, So, and I said, okay, well, first of all, how old are you? Get a good history and physical, history and physical, what they eat, how they sleep, how they talk to themselves, what kind of trauma do they have, where they live, because if they can live in a, near a farm and there was a lot of pesticides, they could have a lot of pesticide exposure that can cause them to have thyroid disease, or they can have what's called Parkinson because they lose a lot of, that can cause the neurotoxin can actually cause that. So you get to find out what is going on underneath the surface, what's going on with the person. And then I would say, hey, give me those labs that your doctor did, and let's take a look. Okay, and I am able to look at the labs in much more detail within, like, say for example, if a thyroid hormone looks like, oh, it's within normal limit, but it's kind of lower in a lower range, then I know that your thyroid is a sub, it's working sub level. So it's not working at the optimal level where you can feel vibrant. You just might feel like the light is a little dim. Okay, you need to figure out, and then you're gonna have to figure out why it's dim. Okay, is it because your thyroid is just not dim, and then you give your thyroid, or it could be the fact that you have a lot of chemicals, or maybe a lot of um um I would call it these,
Toxins.
they're like heavy metals,
Hmm.
that sits on top of the receptors, and it makes it sluggish. It's almost like if I were to put a plug instead of a plug, I have a little plastic thing that covers the plug. And so your
Hmm.
brain thinks that you have enough, but you're really not getting the nutrients that you need in that plug because that plug is satisfied, right? So you got to figure out what if you have a deficiency, if you have an excess of something, if you have a toxin elimination problem, or you have your liver's jammed up, you know. Majority of the time is their gut is an issue. You know, fix their gut, fix their diet. A lot of times I won't just, throw a ton of labs on them and say, yeah, it's your hormones. Here's some medications, or here's some compounding medications for your, you know, um, you have hormone deficiency. But wait a minute. What's causing the hormone deficiency? I don't usually put a patient on hormones right away because I got to figure out what is going on with their body. What do they have in the closet before I figured out, what to give them, or maybe just replenish it with just nutrients and supplementation of pharmaceutical grade supplements. And these are these are pharmaceutical grade nutrients and vitamins and herbs that helps our bodies do the things that we need to do, you know? Because when you eat an apple is back in the day equals now 8 apples because of the nutrients depletions in our soil. So if you don't replenish, it's almost like you're just getting a little bit in your food, and it's like, you know what, I'm just not getting. So not having the bandwidth to do things, and you're like, God, it's so slow. I'm so tired. So if you don't understand that, you're never going to be able to live optimally. Okay.
I have a question.
Hmm.
So you mentioned two things that I'm really interested in at the moment. And first, I'm going to start with the most recent, and then I'll go back to the other one.
Okay.
You said pharmaceutical grade supplementation. So, what I've learned so far, just to sum this up, is that it's really important to understand the root cause of any issues that you're having within your body and then tackle that root cause. That will help you to age backwards. Number two, this is another really important part, is mindset. Number three, supplementation. So, pharmaceutical grade supplements. Can you share more about that? Where we can find them? What
All right.
constitutes that?
Right. So, well, before 1994, okay, anybody can actually say, "Oh, I'm just gonna put some bark trees in this container. I'm gonna say it's an herb. It's gonna give you vitality, and you can take it, and it's got crap in it, and you don't have to worry about it." And so that's before the laws, okay? So after 1994, you have to have rigorous, test, third party check. You have to have, all these you have to be certified that it's a good manufacturing products, that what is in there is exactly what you say is in there. You can't say it's curable, because if you say it's curable, it's a drug. Okay. And if you say that it's a pharmaceutical grade versus a food grade, pharmaceutical grade has to go through rigorous tests. They have to have no fillers. They don't have, they say what they have is exactly what they have. They enhance your body to do the things that you need to do. Okay. Um, and it's not without side effects. So you have interaction with medication. So you got to figure out, somebody's going to know, you can't just go and say, I'm just going to order this. So the problem is most people are like, well, I'm going to go on Amazon and I'm going to order this stuff because it's cheaper, or I'm going to go to this, and not knowing how to, find out maybe if I have high blood pressure, and maybe if I'm taking like licorice root, okay, which is an herb that's actually very good for mucous membranes and for your adrenal. It's called an adaptogen, which actually adapts to your body's hormones. When you have fluctuation, it's called, it will help you. If you have stress, it'll bring it down. When you need a little energy, it'll bring it up. It helps you with your gut lining, helps you with cough. But when people who actually take that and they have high blood pressure, that actually can raise the blood pressure even higher, and you need the DGL form. So you need to have somebody who actually have the knowledge, to work with a practitioner, someone who knows what they're talking about, instead of just saying, I'm just going to go into because I saw this on Facebook, or I saw this on Instagram, that this is going to help me lose weight, right? Guarana extract, that is, I've seen it all the time with people who actually have that, to help patients lose weight. Well, if you have hyperthyroid, you can cause your heart to go, you have irregular heartbeat or atrial fibrillation. That can cause you to have more problem, exacerbates that problem. So you got to know what it is. And so you work with a practitioner and they will guide you to go to a certain, like maybe a website where you can actually know that these are pharmaceutical grade companies, that they actually do rigorous third party testing, and they will share, they're proud of their products. They will share with you, hey, so, and we have to go to, I have to go to study class, and I still am constantly learning. And, I love books. Actually, I got this really cool book that I have to share on Facebook when it, afterwards. But it's an herb book, and the safety issues, safety usage of it, and it's wonderful. You have to have reference. And I'm constantly learning. I've never stopped learning since the time I graduated from school. So the more I learn, this is what you call it, a practice, right? Whatever you were taught years ago, it's like obsolete. And so you got to know the updated, latest, and the greatest information. And sometimes some of the data, when you're looking at this studies, if you have this company that says this medication works really good, actually it does this, they will they will do their own studies, and they will skew their studies and make it look like great. Even JAMA, I mean, other studies on drugs, they will do that. So you can find a story that will support whatever you think that is good, right? So you got to find that a study that is a randomized trial, that is non-biased, and then you got to see how patients respond to it. You got to also know that once these medications are on the market, or these herbs in the market, you have what's called a post marketing. Any symptomatology, any symptoms or side effects, they have to report it to the FDA. So these pharmaceutical vitamins, I treat it as my medicine, right? But these things actually will have, they some of them do have side effects. So you got to be careful of what you have to understand the profile of the patient. So unless if you don't know and you just try yourself, it's like Russian roulette.
Russian roulette. Well, okay, so we have 53 minutes on the clock now, ladies. So we're going to have to wrap up this episode. But I still want to ask my other question. And I wanted to get into body hacking and menopause, but we're going to save those two topics because there's so much to learn. So we'll have you come back again, and we'll talk more about those things.
And we can talk about the weight gain right in the belly area most people have when they age. You're like, what? All of a sudden this starts showing up, and what you can do about it. It's not about just doing workouts. It's really about shifting the hormones and really changing. There are some different exercise that you can do to actually help, yes, but exercise itself is not going to get rid of the belly. It's not. It's not. It's really getting rid of the toxins, cleaning up your gut, food that you eat, sleep, change your hormones that way. And you will notice that all of a sudden it's like, I can fit into my jeans again, with jeans that I have when I was, before pregnancy. So it's exciting.
Girl, we really are going to have to go into that further because I know a lot of men and women are going to want to know more about that. So we'll for sure have you come back so we can talk more about that stuff. And I know
Yeah.
that there's been so much knowledge that you passed along during this hour already. But I have one more question to wrap it up. And I think this will be really, really important as far as anti-aging goes. So when you are working on aging backwards or aging gracefully, and you are now, you're taking care of yourself, you're eating good foods for you, you are exercising, you maybe have a skincare regimen that you do, but you mentioned mindset. How does mindset play into aging gracefully?
Okay, do you ever think that when you feel like you're sick, you're about to catch a cold, and you're like, I think I'm sick still. And you play into it, and you become
Mhm.
sick. You kind of talk yourself into it, right? So it's kind of like a
Yes.
self-fulfilling prophecy. So your body, every single cell, hears what you say behind the scenes. You're not good enough. You're not pretty enough. You're stupid. Okay, you're not good. You know, you're not that great. You know, look at you. Ridicule. I mean, every single cell. No. Okay. So what I've learned is that you have to listen to what you say behind the scenes and then rectify it by saying, wait a minute, who put it there? If I'm anxious, I'm worried all the time. Well, maybe my mom is like, don't touch that! Don't do it! Finish your plate. You know what? Poor people in China. I mean, like so many things that came into our mind when we were children. Okay. So I want you to do this. Be like a computer. Okay? Your mindset is like this computer. Maybe I have a MacBook Pro. Okay. So all the stuff that I have was old and it doesn't serve me anymore and it's slow. So what I need to do is actually put a new, maybe a chip in there, or maybe actually get a brand new computer, or maybe put software to upgrade, right? So we upgrade everything. How come we don't upgrade our brain? Well, because we
Yes.
have all the subconscious things that's inside of us that dragged along for years and years. In my culture, I'm supposed to eat rice because I'm Chinese, but I'm diabetic. So it's like that. So I mean, it's like that. I'm telling you. So all these little things that we tell ourselves, it's freaking wrong. Okay. But if you don't go back and revisit it, your mindset will be of all those things it's almost like having all these little stuff that are open, all these pages are open, but they're minimized. So under the surface subconsciously, it doesn't matter how great you did, or accomplishing you did, you're going to feel like this big because you had that mindset was already been told by you. Okay. Long story. Long story. So what you need to do as an adult is because you have consciousness, you have awareness, you know the difference between, okay, so when you're a kid, if I give you a bad apple, okay, you eat it. You wouldn't know any difference. Okay. And as you can become a little bit more conscious, and you're like, no, I don't like that apple. Shut up and just eat it. When you become an adult, you're going to choose that bad apple. Somebody's going to give you a good apple. You're like, I don't want the good apple because it's familiar. Okay, so you're going to eat that bad apple all your life. And even if you have great apples and you know that, I'm going to pick this one because I know it's good for me. And for some reason, you will default to that bad apple. So your mindset starts from when you're a little kid. So now you need to change your mindset and remember all those hangups that you have and say, I know I'm the first child born Chinese girl. I was told that, boys were better when their first child should be born boy, you know. So my worthiness was like out the window when I was a child. And even so now I'm thinking, gosh, why can't I further my life? Why can't I further some of the things that I wanted to do, but I feel like I have a setback? Well, it's because you were told you're not good enough. And whatever you do, hey man, I was UCLA graduate. I still feel I'm not because you're not a doctor. Or you're not, forget about it. You are the greatest person on earth because nobody knows you better than you. And so your uniqueness will testify in this world that you are a piece of that little puzzle in this corner. And without that piece, you are not complete. So you need to remember that that is your mindset, that you matter. And if you matter, you make this world a better place and you do the best you can. And there's a saying, there's a word called ikigai. It's a Japanese word. And it's really, the circles within the circle. It's like doing something that you love to do, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you pay for buku money for it, right? So there is an abundance. Money will come when you do the things that you love, what you love to do, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you get paid for. You're passionate. You wake up in the morning. I study all the time. I love studying. People think I'm crazy, but I love to help people. But I have to help myself first, right?
Right.
So your mindset, you have to really say, you know what? I am good enough. I may not be good, like the optimal good, because I don't know my stuff yet. It's just like learning how to get up and walk. I would fall down. It's okay. Get up and do it again. We never stop when we. What if what if my mom said, "Honey, just sit down. Let me just push you." I will not ever know my strength. I will not be able to run and know how to walk. I won't develop these thunder thighs that I do you know what I mean? So you don't even know your optimal ability until you actually get there. So your mindset, you got to go back to revert that. So, and you got to say, okay. Then another analogy is, I I love the prince and the pauper. Remember that the old parable where like the prince actually got switched with the pauper, and so the prince is still a prince. It doesn't matter the clothes change, right? You're still who you are. It doesn't matter if you experience bad things, and and sometimes hurt people will hurt other people, end up hurting themselves by burning bridges. But just hurt people, they have a story behind the story and why they acted the way they did. So if you understand the root cause and say, I'm enough. I did that because, monkey see, monkey do. I'm going to change my way. You have consciousness. As you continue to age, you have that awareness, and you have to be able to make that choice and say, what, I'm not going to rewrite my freaking story yesterday. Okay, because I don't like that yesterday. But yesterday I did that because I was afraid of somebody else who judged me because I did that. No, I'm going to do what I need to do right now so that I'm writing the story and I'm navigating my world and I'm listening to my gut feeling, my intuition, and my intuition is that divine higher version of myself teaching me and guiding me to navigate forward and showing me the path of my life and how I want to live out my life until the day I die. And when I die, I can say, you know what? It's a hell of a ride, and I decided to do it that way. The first few years, I don't know because, hey, I wasn't aware and I wasn't conscious, you know? But when I have an awareness, most people have more awareness. It depends. Sometimes when they're young because they got traumatized, they have an instant awareness, maybe at 7 years old, right? Or some people, they'd be 65 years old because they have been spoon fed, they did everything for them. It doesn't matter. But when your spirit is ready and you have, whoa, aha moment, you're like, hey, I'm going to live my life the best I can be. And it doesn't matter. And don't ever compare apples to oranges. We always freaking compare to someone else, and they don't have your gift. You don't have their gifts. How can you compare? And if you stop comparing, you're going to realize everyone has gifts and we have ability to contribute to this world and we can live this place, this world a better place. And if you take care of yourself, here's your side effect. You feel good, you look good, your pants fit better, feel comfortable in your own skin, and you're less frustrated. You can handle all the things that's frustrating in the world better because you're less frustrated. It's like when you're in love, you're like, okay, I can handle it. It's
Yeah,
okay.
he will change.
Everything's good.
Yeah, I will change him. I will change him with love.
Believe in everything.
One less person who's going to go to the emergency room. One less person who's going to take a pill to hide their emotions. And guess what? We pay less insurance. You decrease your
Right.
national. So you got to start with yourself. Mindset is so important. And I went through some trauma. I mean, my love of my life died. He committed suicide. My daughter saw it. I mean, it was really traumatic. Okay, total traumatic. Okay? It's taking me. I'm still dealing with the situation right now. But some days are good, and some days I'm like, I need to I need to retreat. I don't feel like I can't give it to the world right now, and it's okay. I don't have to be somebody who's like famous. No, I know I'm doing the best I can. And I know that my children need me and I need them. Right. So, and I know that if I don't fill myself and heal the correct way, then how can I be somebody who can give other people? Okay. I don't want to be the person who's going to hold myself on the cross and say, I suffer. And then that's why I'm this amazing person. Bullshit. Really. Be real. We're all human. We're here for a human experience, and we're gonna love, and we're gonna get love back. But we need to love our bodies like God say, love thy neighbor as thyself. The body is the temple of God. Honor the temple. Be in the world, but not of the world. I'm not preaching, but I'm just saying that this is what I live my life every single day. And being almost 51, and I say, if I die today, I will be satisfied because I know that everything I do today is I'm doing the best that I can to help myself, to help my patients, to help my friends, and people who actually know me, they know. People ask me, I'm like, okay, here's what you need to do. Here's what you need to do. Sometimes I do it for free, but sometimes you can't do it for free forever because you're gonna be like out the street.
Right. Right.
True
So
that.
personalized medicine takes time, and you have to be a willing participant. I'm only a facilitator. I cannot tell you what you need to do. You need to come up with what you want to do, and then we can help you. I can help you. So for you, Kia, you said, you know what, I'm a sugar junkie. Well, it's not because you're a sugar junkie. Maybe you're nutrient deficient in magnesium and B vitamins. If you take that, the next time when you take a look at that cookie, you're like, I don't really feel like eating it. Why? Because your body is nutrient the deficiency is now served, and then you're like, God, I don't feel like I want to eat that, right? But if you don't, you will crave.
I will tell you
Yes.
this about what you just said. Julian, you guys know Julian if you watch the show, told me, he was like, Kia, you should be taking minerals, right? So recently I started taking minerals and B12 vitamins in a little vape. I don't know if you saw my stories a while back.
I was
started
about to ask
taking
you that.
this Inhale Health vape. Oh, the box is here, but the vape is not. So this is, can you see it? I don't know. Can you see that?
You have to show me later. I'm just doing the
Yeah.
ingredients.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's called Inhale Health Vitamin B and Superfruit flavor. I don't love the aftertaste, to be honest with you, but it actually does give me energy. Okay, so it tastes really good when you do the vape, but for me, the aftertaste is a little bit weird. But I don't like to smoke things either, so it's also that too.
Well, if you
Too
want,
frequent.
maybe one talk I can talk about, like, what vitamins do we need for when do we have issues, and like generalize, okay, generalize. So, if you're really stressed out, we can talk about a stress event, and then what nutrient depletions that we have. How does it affect your body? So, what nutrients that you can take, and what herbs that you can actually take to help
Ooh,
you.
we have to do that. We have to do that soon. Probably maybe we can do that next month in November,
Mhm.
because we will be unveiling our Patreon channel. Whoops, spoiler alert. And I think we're going to set up some chat rooms in Discord. I don't know if do you guys remember chat rooms? If you were around in like the 90s, you might remember chat rooms.
Yeah, I'm
So
but I've never done it.
we're going to set up some chat rooms to talk about specific topics that we've had on the show on Discord. So I know that it's largely for gamers now. That's what people use it for, but it's expanding. So I think we might pioneer and jump over there,
That's awesome.
create
Yeah.
some stuff, and then go to Patreon and have some really in-depth, uncensored conversations for our members. So we'll see. It's coming together, but this is the first little announcement about that coming up maybe by the end of next month. So we have to have you back for that, Lynn. But today
Yes.
we're at 1 hour and 8 minutes.
Yes,
So
we have to wrap it up.
along. We've got to wrap it up. Oh, I hate the part.
The anti-aging medicine, but I think you have to live it. Okay, you have to live it, and every moment you have to, invite your higher self to teach you how you need to navigate this world, because you are within your body, and you have to learn how to live consciously. and every single day. And it doesn't mean every day you have to be perfect. You just have to know that, how you feel today according to how you slept, how you ate, what did you do? What can you do to rectify it? If you detour, come back. Be gentle with yourself, right?
Self-awareness, right?
Yeah. All right, Lynn.
All right. Thank you for
Thank you
having me.
so much to be in Hot Topics today. We need to bring you for more episodes because this is very important for people to know.
So much.
Especially that a lot of people right now are looking for the natural and to feel better. So yeah, definitely we want to invite you for the next time, maybe in November, like Kia said in the beginning.
Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you. I'm going to put you in the green room and we'll see you in a bit. Okay, honey?
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Wow, that was awesome.
So much information. I
Yeah.
feel a little bit overloaded with information. So I'm going to have to digest all of that. But
Yes.
I learned so many really great things.
Yeah, me too. I knew some stuff that already she already mentioned, but she also clarified all those stuff that very important that a lot of people don't know is to be conscious of who you are inside, what are your needs. And a lot of people go to the doctor, they feel something, they go to the doctor and they just, oh, the doctor right away prescribe and they run with it. And they said sometimes, like it happens to me a long time ago, a doctor, oh, you have fibromyalgia, without testing me anything, and I didn't believe. And then I find out that the test for fibromyalgia is kind of the same what he did, but I didn't want to take that medication, and I'm not going to take medication for fibromyalgia. I'm just do yoga and meditation, and think positive, and when I have the pain I just deal with it, but I'm not taking pills or
Well,
nothing.
if anyone wants to know in more detail what Gloria does to manage her fibromyalgia and what I do to manage fibromyalgia myself, our very first episode
Yes.
of Hot Topics was all about fibromyalgia. So if you go to our Hot Topics live Facebook page, it is actually highlighted at the top of the page, so you can watch that one, and maybe there'll be something there that can help you if you or someone you love or know suffers from fibromyalgia. From our years and years, I have over 20 years of experience with it and trial and error figuring it out. So yeah, you can check that out there. And the 4 pillars, there was 4 pillars, right?
Yeah.
That she was talking about, and also like how much eating is important, as much as skincare, as much as exercise, as much as mindset, and as much as supplementation to keep everything, as healthy and optimum as possible. And
Right.
also, I think my biggest takeaway from this discussion is the importance of functional medicine.
Yes.
So I will be looking for someone in my local area to supplement what I can learn from Lynne from a distance, because she's a little bit further down the West Coast from me. So I'd like to have someone also local, but it's great to know that I can reach out to her and ask her questions because she's
Yeah,
so knowledgeable.
well, you can make a Zoom with her, and you can send, like, you can do your blood test and send it to her, and then she can recommend you what you need for whatever you're missing in your body.
And speaking of Lynne,
Uh-huh.
we forgot to ask her a question, but I
What?
know what it is. Where, if any one of you is interested in working with Lynne or finding out more about what she does or her, I have her information here for you. This is who she is. This is all her credentials here across the bottom of the screen, so that you know, right? She is
Right.
like legit, just so we're clear on that. And if you want to find her here.
Yes.
So Empower with Lynne on Instagram, and on Facebook, Empower with Lynne. And so you can reach out to her and she can help you on your process of aging gracefully. So we really appreciate everybody coming through and
Yeah.
saying hello, all of the comments. Oh, hey, Rhonda. Yeah, you know
Hey,
what?
Rhonda.
Most people watch the replay. That's where we get a lot of our views at. So
Yeah.
because we come on when we want. But we appreciate everyone who watches live and all the comments. But we do have a lot of people, a lot of more people watch
Yeah.
during replays when they can. So, and I don't care as long as people get the information and it's useful for them. I'm
Right.
appreciative anyway. So, oh,
Right.
look at this. It's my kid's aunt. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle, how are you?
Girl, we need to catch up. We got to make some plans. So thanks for watching. So, listen. You are such a great guest. We appreciate you for coming on the show. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
And with that, I guess we're gonna start the show. You're on the road. Where are you anyway?
I'm right. I'm in Virginia.
Wow. So you've been traveling and you're in
14
Virginia.
hours.
14 hours. You must be tired. So
Very tired.
we're gonna get off of here and let you get some rest. But I wish you safe travels, and I'll see you next week. We'll be back here next Wednesday with another guest with lots of more value, hopefully, to offer people to help you feel better, as Gloria hopes. And I'm Kia Baker. I'm the host of the Female Veterans Podcast, Women Warrior Stories for the Veterans Channel, and Success Coach at London Real Academy. Set your notifications. If you are on YouTube, please subscribe and share and let people know we're out here trying to do good things. And join us next week. And we appreciate your time and that you watch and comment. We love that. Thank you.
Yes.
And next to me is this beautiful curly-haired bombshell, bohemian bombshell.
Well, like everybody knows, I'm Gloria Goldberg, the founder and the host of Unbreakable Life with Glory, where I talk about depression, anxiety, and PTSD in a natural way, in a holistic way, to make you feel better. And also the founder and the host of the bilingual show, The Gloria. This every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Tomorrow is gonna be in Espanol. It's gonna be a solo. Everything depends what's going on tomorrow, because like I always said, I go by the present, go by the flow. I have a little problem with my car, so I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna try to be at 2 p.m. tomorrow in Espanol. I'm gonna talk about, I don't know. Let's see. It's gonna be a surprise.
I love surprises. Oh goodness. Okay, so I'll try to make time for that tomorrow, though I have a very busy day at London Real Academy with my podcasting student. So my voice lessons in the morning, so I can't miss that. But I think if I have a break, I'm going to jump on and catch what I can, because it actually helps me with my Spanish, which has been sorely lagging since I left Miami. So yeah, I love that.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, let's wrap it up. Thank you, everybody, to be on Hot Topics tonight. And have a wonderful day, wonderful night, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.